Hi to everybody, and I'm cordially welcoming you all people to listen the online classes and which are conducted by our esteemed institution, that is the Diamond Group of Institution, and I am P. Chandrasekhar, Faculty of Zoology. Today I will discuss some of the interesting questions which are related to the very important topic of our PU second year zoology, that is called evolution. Already we know that Doug Johnson is the name of the scientist who defined that nothing in the biology to make a sense except in the light of evolution itself. Because of we are supposed to learn so many new things while you knowing the different aspects of the evolution itself. That's why I'm also suggesting you people, this is the very interesting topic of zoology, and some of the important questions are today we are supposed to discuss and related to this our topic itself. That is itself is called evolution itself. And now you go for the questions. Now the questions are like this. The first question is the diversity in the type of beaks of finches adapted to the different feeding habits on the Galapagos Islands as observed by Darwin, providing evidence. That means once upon a time the finch birds are confined to the Galapagos Islands of the South America, and only then plenty of the food particles are so far present in the form of plant seeds itself. That's why all of the finch birds are habituated to have a plant seeds as the food particles itself. That's why all of them are provided with a beak in similar manner itself. They are popularly named as the herbivores itself. Okay. Now here, while they are migrated into the different geological regions, certain the pattern of the beak is so far present, so far changed to leads into production of the varieties of the finch birds of the Galapagos Islands itself. Now here the question is the best evidence for the A option is the origin of species by natural selection itself, and after that B the intraspecific variation, it is also not concerned, and C the interspecific variation, and it is also not concerned with the intraspecific competition. The BCD is not at all related, and A option is the origin of species by natural selection itself. This was proposed by Robert Charles Darwin. He observed so much, he was concentrated so much on the beak pattern of the Galapagos finch birds of the Galapagos Islands, and after that he proposed that if the variety of the living organisms are so far developed within the species, certainly that will be selected by the natural selection itself. That's why the origin of species by natural selection itself. In that way he proposed. Now regarding this question, A option is related that. And we go for the next one is the Stanley Miller conducted experiment on prebiotic environment using a special apparatus. The primary products were just here Oparin and just here. These are the Oparin and Stanley Miller. Both the scientists are combinedly conducted a simulation experiment itself, and they were practically proved the chemical origin of life itself, which was proposed J.B. Salden and of course Stan. Just here. Now we go for that. So the options are given like this. Here the experiment, after conducting the experiment and putting aside for 10 to 15 days, what they observed, the amino acids are so far present and so far formed within the aqueous solution of the Stanley Miller experiment itself. Now the A option is A option, B option and C, D, E options are so far given. A option is the amino acid, and the alanine and the just aspartic acid, like amino acids are so far end products and primary products are so far observed by the Miller in his apparatus itself. And B the peptides, it is not concerned. C the nucleotides, it is also not concerned. D the simple sugars itself. Only the amino acids are so far observed by Miller and after conducting the experiment itself. Now I am opting the A option is correct option for this question. Now you go for that. An example of vestigial organ is the best evidences for the evolution of living organism through the ages itself. From the simple organisms are evolved into the complex organisms during the course of evolution itself. The vestigial organs are one of the way to provide the written evidence for the evolution of living organism according to the ages itself. Now, here vestigial organ. The question is asking that among the four of the option, which is the vestigial organ itself? Here A is the nail of monkey, it is not at all, and hair of the hairs of the beard, and E the ear of the cow. It is the three of the options are not connected to this, and B option is the only option that is called nictitating membrane of man. It is some of the people are named it as the third protecting membrane of the eye itself. Here in human beings, the nictitating membrane is became vestigial organ and which is confined to the corner of the each eye in the form of blood mass itself. That is called nictitating membrane itself. The nictitating membrane, one among the vestigial organ of man itself. Now the fourth option is correct option for this question. Now you go for the next one is the theory of continuity of germplasm was proposed by. Here, so what is the pattern which is concentrated and practically proved by the one of the scientists August Weismann, and he was not accepted the principles of the Lamarck who laid stone regarding the evolution, and here just he conducted the experiment that is called germplasm theory. He took the two of the mice up to 21 generation and going on cutting the tails of the mice and permit them to fertilize with each other. And here, though he cutting the tails, fortunately all the children are blessed with the suitable tail itself. On the basis of that, he concluded that whatever the protoplasm is so far present among the evolved organisms are vertebrates, which is differentiated into two of the plasms, somatoplasm and germplasm. Whatever the changes are so far takes place within the somatoplasm, which are not inherited from parents to the offspring itself. But whereas a little or negligible change may be affected in the germplasm, which is perfectly inherited from parents to the offspring itself. That is the meaning of the continuity of the germplasm was proposed by. The options are like this: A option August Weismann, and B is the Gregor Mendel, and C is the Lamarck, and D is the Darwin itself. Among ABC, the ABCD, A option is correct. That is the August Weismann is the name of the scientist who proposed the continuity of the germplasm, while he was not accepted the two of the laws of the Lamarck itself. Now ABC option, the A option is correct for this, August Weismann itself. Now the question is the organism which obtained energy by the oxidation of reduced inorganic compounds are called. Here whatever the primitively or after formation of the earth, the primitive or else the reductive atmospheric conditions and reducing environmental conditions are so far present on the earth. Withstanding the conditions of the earth, what kind of living organisms are so far appeared for the first time. So whatever the living organisms are evolved first time on the earth, and how just they are provided with the energy by the oxidation of reduced inorganic compounds. They are simply called as the chemoautotropes. Now we go for the options are like this. A option is the saprogate. Saprogate means the living organism which feed on the decayed substance of the environmental condition can be named as saprogate. And chemoautotropes are the correct option for this, whereas photoautotropes means photoautotropes are nothing but trapping radiant energy of the sun and immediately converted into the chemical energy with the help of photosynthesis itself. Now there and D is the coproheterotropes itself, the feeding of their own fecal matter that is called autocoprophagus, and feeding on fecal matter of other organism can be named as the coproheterotrophs itself. Among A, B, C, D, the B option is the correct option for this. One is that is the chemoautotrophs are first existed on the early environmental condition of the earth itself. Now we go for the next question. The cranial capacity or the cranial cavity was largest among the, already we know that the different examples are so far given here. The Neanderthalensis is the not just equivalent to having the 1400 cc brain, just cranial capacity, which is related to and which is similar to the modern man itself, Homo sapien itself. Now the options are given like this. Here the Peking man is not having the same cranial capacity as the Neanderthal man contains, and after that B the African man and the Java man itself. A, B, C, A, B, D are not related with this, and C the only Neanderthal man or Neanderthalensis is the name of the just name of the evolved man which has the largest cranial cavity or largest cranial capacity, which is about 1400 cc itself. That's why the C option is correct option for this question. Now you go for the next question. According to Oparin, which one of the following was not present in the primitive atmosphere of Earth? Of course, Oparin and as well as along with the Alden, these two of the scientists are combinedly proposed one of the specific theory, the chemical origin of the life itself. It is included two of the evolution patterns itself. Chemical evolution, it is led by the biological evolution. These two of the evolutionary patterns are related with the Oparin and Alden, and according to this theory only, all the old scientists are believed in the evolution of living organism from simplest organism into the complex organism itself. Now the options are given. So the question is asking that when the primordial atmosphere so far developed or prevailing on the early Earth, and which of the following is not present itself. Now A option is given hydrogen. The plenty of the hydrogen is so far present. And B, the water vapor is also present along the hydrogen, and C, for a while the methane is also developed so far, and D, the oxygen is the only gas or only substance which is not present on primordial atmosphere of the early Earth itself. That's why the D option is the correct option according to the Oparin itself. Now we go for the next one. De Vries gave his mutation theory on organic evolution while working on. So while he was worked on one of the specific biennial plant, that was the plant is scientifically named as the Oenothera lamarckiana, who worked on that, and he finally observed that he observed the four of the mutation types itself. What he said, the evolution of the new species is always takes place and always formed within the environmental condition or within the nature by a large size mutations itself, not instead of a small variations itself. Of course, directly or indirectly, he was also support the natural selection theory of the Robert Charles Darwin itself. Now the options are given like that. Whatever the practical material which was employed and selected by the De Vries itself. A is the Althea rosea. It is also not concerned this Drosophila melanogaster. This is the practical material which was selected by T.H. Morgan. And Oenothera lamarckiana is the name of the botanical name of the plant which was selected as the practical material by the De Vries while he was proposed the mutation theory itself. Now the D is the Pisum sativum, which is selected by Gregor John Mendel, and then only he was succeed his experiment to become a father of genetics itself. Now just among the A, B, C, D, the C option is correct option for this, that is called Oenothera lamarckiana. Now you go for the development history of the mammalian history. it is observed that it passes through a two-chamber heart, it passes through a two-chamber fish heart and three-chamber frog-like heart and finally four-chamber heart itself. To which hypothesis can this above stated statement be approximated? The options are given like this: biogenetical law, and B the Hardy-Weinberg law, and C the Lamarck principle, and D the Mendelian principle itself. Among A, B, C, D, only the biogenetic law is related to this question itself. That's why A option is correct. Here, Hardy-Weinberg, these two of the scientists are so far proposed the allelic frequency is constant from generation to the generation under certain conditions. And after that, Lamarck principle, use and disuse, and just inheritance of acquired characters, and B is also not related and C is also not related, and Mendelian principle, you know that law of dominancy or law of segregation and the law of independent assortment itself. And these BCD are not at all related with this, only A option is correct for that. Because of during the evolution of the different classes of the mammals, particularly different classes of the vertebrates, Pisces, amphibians, reptilians and aves and mammals are so far evolved. Here initially the fishes will be contain two-chamber heart, that is called one atrium, one ventricle, and after that a group of the Pisces are evolved into amphibian, and simultaneously the two-chamber heart is gradually develops into three-chamber heart itself. So that's why two auricles and one of the ventricles so far developed among the amphibian, and one group of the amphibians are so far developed into the reptilians, and all of the reptilians are naturally contain three-chamber heart, but particularly undivided or completely not divided ventricle is so far present among the three-chamber heart of the, or it is also called four-chamber heart of the reptilian. So among the reptilians, the crocodilia is the advanced order of the reptilians, in which completely divided ventricles are so far present, and the crocodilia of the order of reptilians are naturally contains four-chamber heart like aves and mammals itself. During the course of evolution, one group of the reptilians are simultaneously evolved into the mammals and aves itself, in which aves and mammals certainly the three-chamber heart is completely developed into the four-chamber heart itself. So here according to the evolution, the biogenetic law is supporting the and taken the written and suitable evidence for the development of heart from Pisces to the mammalians itself. So just they are support that because of two are changed into three, and finally the three-chamber heart is finally develops into the four-chamber heart itself. And all these are theoretical and taken as an example is taken by the biogenetical law, which was proposed by Ernest Haeckel, and this is given a suitable evidence for the believer of the evolution itself. Now we go just here, so that's why A option is correct option for this question. I am opting A itself. Now we go for the next one. A body is born with a small tail. It is the case of exhibiting. Of course, once upon a time, the male human beings are also provided with the tail itself. Of course, you studied one of the traditional, our Ramayana, the Anjaneya, just whose body is provided with the tail itself. So, according to the gradual evolution, gradually the tail part is disappeared from the body of human being. Nowadays, the modern human beings do not have any tail itself. But suddenly what happens? Here suddenly one of the baby is born with the tail part itself. What is that process? Why it is reappeared in developed condition in one of the newly born baby itself? That process can be named as the atavism itself. What do you mean of atavism? Suddenly the vestigial, one among the vestigial organ may be suddenly appeared in the newborn baby with the developed condition itself. The process can be named as the atavism itself. Now the ABCD options are so far given. A option is the retrograde evolution. What I said, retrogressive means the developed characters are so far present in the larval stages. When the larvae will be complete the metamorphosis to attain to adult stage, the advanced characters are replaced by the primitive characters that will be called as the retrogressive evolution. It is not at all concerned with this. And B, the mutation, the sudden changes or change or leads into production of the new species, it is not related with this. That's why the B option is also not related. And C option is the atavism. The sudden appearance of the one of the vestigial organ within the newborn baby can be named as the atavism. That's why C option is correct option for this. And D, the metamorphosis itself. Metamorphosis is the one of the process of developing process. Throughout the process, the larval stages can be developed into the adult, not reappearance of the tail part in the newborn baby. So that's why A, B, D are not concerned with this. Only the C option is correct option for this. Now you go for the next question. Thorn of bougainvillea and tendril of cuscuta are example of. You know that they are similar to each other, but they are present in two different species of the plants itself. So here, when the origin and the structure is same, but functionally different, certainly they are the best example for the homologous organs itself. Now, the options are given like this. Vestigial organs, still they are not present here. The vestigial organs are once upon a time they are functionally present here. Still, these two of the characters are so far present in bougainvillea and cuscuta itself. That's why the they are not considered the vestigial organs. Be the retrogressive organs. They are present in the larval stages. When they are attained to adult stage, according to the metamorphosis or according to the development from the larval stages to the adult stage, the characters are still advanced but not decreased. That's why retrogressive, they are not considered the retrogressive organs also. See the analogous organs. Here they are originally same, the origin is same and structure is also same, but functionally they are different. That's why they are not example for the analogous organs. Their origin is same and structure is same but functionally different. That's why these two of the examples are the best example for the homologous organs itself. That's why D option is the correct option for this. Now you go for the next one. Pythons possess tiny leg bones that serve no purpose in locomotion. Such organs are. So during the course of evolution, some of the unused organs are so far became disintegrated and disappeared from the body itself. So during the course of evolution, some of the unused parts are simply present as non-functional parts itself. Whatever the organs are so far present which are not functionally useful to the organism, they became as the vestigial organs also. The best example is the tiny legs are present among the pythons itself, but they are not functionally helpful to the pythons, which are simply called as the vestigial organs itself. Now the options are given like this. Homologous organs, which are not at all considered the homologous, and B option is also not related. They are not analogous organs, and C option is the vestigial organs. They are simply called as the vestigial organs. Once upon a time, they are functionally useful to the locomotion of the python, but according to the changed environments, they are remains in the form of tiny legs and which are remains as the non-functional organs itself. That's why the non-functional organs, though they are present in the body of pythons in the form of limbs or legs, they are simply called as the vestigial organs itself. Now D option A and C. So it is also not correct. Among the A, B, C, D, the C option is the correct option for this. Now you go for the next question. The most apparent change during the evolutionary history of Homo sapien is upright. What are the important, so many changes are so far effected during the evolution of human being? Among the A, B, C, D, which of the evolutionary change is very important in the evolution of human being itself? Here A is the loss of body hair. So in initial days, the people are not habituated to cover their body by wearing the clothes itself. That's why the body of human being is so far provided with the thickets for the protection of the internal parts. So here loss of body hair also one of the character. Be the walking upright. Of course here the apes and particularly the human beings are the only living vertebrates which can erect the body, and we can walk and we can run on the one pair of the hind limbs itself. That is also one of the evolutionary character, but not so important one. And see the shortening of the jaws itself. Of course, the chimpanzee like jaws are so far present along with the skull itself. During the course of evolution of human being, the shortening of jaws are also affected. It is also one among the changes are so far affected during the evolution of human being. It is a part and parcel, but not playing a vital role itself. And whereas D option is the remarkable increase in brain size. What I said, this is a D option is the correct option. It is playing vital role during the evolution course of the human being because of the cranial capacity so far increased from one stage to the another stage, and finally it reached to the largest brain size in the modern man, and the cranial capacity is also increased a lot to establish a modern human being, which are simply called as the Homo sapien itself. Among A, B, C, D, the D option is the correct option for this question. Now next question is which one of the following in birds indicate their reputation ancestry itself? Here, so the question is asking that which of the character is supporting the apes to evolve from the group of reptilians itself. The options are given like this. The presence of crop and gizzard in their gut. It is nothing, of course, it's not supporting character regarding the evolution of the regarding the reputation ancestor of the birds itself. Of course, the crop is the one of the largest part and which is helpful in the storage of the food particles, whereas the gizzard is the grinding part of the alimentary canal of the bird itself. Here, the four chamber heart. Of course, along with the mammals, the four of the chambers are so far developed during the course of apes, and that will be not given any support to this. And after that, eggs with the calcareous eggs itself. Calcareous means cleared egg. They are also called cleared egg eggs also. The eggs of the birds are simply covered with a hard chitinous layer which is simply present in the form of shell itself. The C option is also not supporting this, and D option is the only option that is called scales on their hind limbs itself. Still, the lower part of the hind limbs of the birds are provided with the scales itself. You know that the reptilians are externally covered with the scaly skin itself, and the dermal scales are present, and scute-like structures are so far present among the crocodiles. Of course, in that way, whatever the scales are so far present on the lower part of the hind limbs of the bird, that will be supporting the ancestry evolution of the birds which are evolved from the reptilians group itself. That's why the D option is the correct option itself. Now next question is the flippers of the seal are modified. So of course you know that the seal is the seal which belongs to the class of the mammals of vertebrates itself. But here, according to the environmental condition and according to the food habit, and seals are habituated to feed on aquatic organism itself. That's why he has to change the one of the locomotive organelles in the form of flippers itself. If the flippers are not present or not evolved, and the seals are not supposed to swim in the water to get the food particles itself. For sake of getting their suitable food particle, they have changed their habitat and food habit also. So now the options are given like this. Fins are locomotive organelles of the Pisces, not in the seal itself. Hind limbs are as usually present, but the web is so far present, whereas the forelimbs are simply modified to form the flippers itself. The forelimbs of the seal are modified to form the flippers, and flippers are enable the seal to swim in the aquatic medium. and after that D is the gills. Gills is not a character of the mammals itself. Among the A, B, C, D, the C option is correct option for this. Four limbs of the seal are so far modified in the form of flippers, and by the presence of flippers they are systematically swim in the aquatic medium itself. Now we go for the next question. The concept of the inheritance of aquatic characters was developed by, what is said, the Lamarck is the name of the scientist who laid the stone toward the evolution itself. Just while he was proposing his theory, and he proposed two of the fundamental principles itself. One is the use and disuse theory, and he was well suited two of the example for use. The short-necked deer, and as well as the second seated example is the reptilians, the snakes, in case of disuse itself. And second principle is the inheritance of aquatic characters. Just he took the example of so many example like that, the ports of the ears of the Indian people itself. And in that way, just here, who is the name of the scientist who proposed this? Now, A option is Aristotle, is the father of zoology, of course, biology, and B, the August Weismann, is the name of the scientist who proposed the germplasm theory, and after that C is the Lamarck, is the name of the scientist who developed the concept of the inheritance of the aquatic characters itself. Now, the C option is correct for this, whereas D, the Charles Darwin, is the father of evolution. And of course, though he was a father of evolution, he is not developed this principle. Only he proposed the origin of species by proposing the natural selection theory itself. According to the natural selection theory of the Darwin, and the new species are so far evolved in the nature itself. Here, among the A, B, C, D, the C option is correct for this question. That is called Lamarck. Now next question is in which condition the gene ratio remains constant for any species itself. Here this principle was given by, of course this theory was given by Hardy-Weinberg law itself, or else Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium itself. How long the allelic frequencies are constant from one generation to the generation. So naturally here the gene ratio remains constant for any species under some of the conditions itself. So here the conditions are given like that. The mutation, if suddenly the environmental changes can be affected, that will be leads into mutation. By the effect of mutation, there is a development of new species itself. That's why mutation is not at all concerned with this. B, the sexual selection. That means a male and female can be choose their option. For example, the female is a like of any one of the male, it can be permit that male to copulate with each other itself. That will be called as the sexual selection itself. Sexual selection is leads into production of the variations itself. So not maintaining the gene ratio constant for any species itself. And C, the gene flow. That means the genes can be exchanged in between the two of the species, that will be leads into production of the new species itself. So that's why the gene flow is also not concerned with. Here in the individuals of a population, if the random mating can be takes place, and irrespective of the selection of the male and female, so here the random mating is the only one of the option which is always helpful to maintain the allelic frequency from generation to the generation itself. That's why among A, B, C, D, the D option is the correct option for this. Now last question is the concluding question is the industrial melanism is an example of. So here Bernard K. Tillwell is the name of the scientist who conducted the experiment and proved the natural selection theory itself. Here he took the Biston Betullaria itself. So here he took the example of Biston Betullaria, which is existed in two of the varieties itself, black and grey itself. Or light colored, grey and black color moths are so far selected, and during the rural condition and before industrialization, the grey colored moths are well protected and whose population is more than the black colored moths itself. After urbanization or after establishment of many of the industries, the soot is smoke has also released into the environment to change the light colored box of the plants into dark color. So naturally the color of the box of the plants are so far changed from light color to the dark color. The black colored moths are well protected by the nature, and while the grey colored moths are easily recognized and detected by the predators whose population is decreased a lot. And here the industrial mechanism is the best example in order to support the natural selection theory of the Darwin itself. Now options are given like this: A option is the natural selection, and B is the mutation, and C is the adaptive convergence, and D is the artificial selection itself. And among the A, B, C, D, and A option is the correct option, that is called natural selection itself. Now I am to opting the A option is the correct option for this. Not only that, I am concluding today's class with this question. Thank you for each and everyone.